What's up, guys? You like our content? You hate our content? You want to interact with us? You want to tell us what you really think? You want to support us? You want to detract from us? Do we enrage you? Do you love us? Join us over on Patreon. $5. Join our Patreon. Become a member. We do member-only videos on Patreon, and we build those videos off your questions and answers. We'll read anything you put almost. Even if it's against us, if you disagree with us, we can have a real conversation. We can have a hateful conversation. Patreon. SOEtacticalgear.com. All these clips you watch come from our YouTube. We do a 90-minute to 2-hour podcast on YouTube once a week. You can join that member group there for between $5 and $15 range, and you can interact with us, and you see all of these video clips. You see full-length content within 2 days of us making it, so it comes up as current events. If you don't want to join, that's okay. These videos come out free to the public on the SOE Tactical YouTube page. I also do a live every night at 9 o'clock on YouTube, and we can discuss anything you guys want to talk about. So today's Sunday the 10th. We're a little bit after noon. And just made a run to the Tractor Supply Company, which is about 15 minutes from the house. And now we're heading back to the shop. And we're going to work on, we've got all the goats in the same pen with all of our chickens. And the goats are eating the shit out of the chicken feed rather than their goat feed. So we bought a hog panel that we're going to cut in half. I think they're 16 feet long, or 12 feet, I'm not sure. We're going to cut it in half and basically tee it into the fence, run it out, and then we got a fence, a gate we're going to put on it, and the chickens can get in there. We're going to put the chicken feed in there. We're going to cover it eventually, but immediately we're just going to isolate the chicken feeder so that the goats cannot eat it. The goats are huge and fat and look pregnant, and I think it's all the corn and the chicken feed they're eating. So we're going to, plus they're eating the shit out of the feed. Like, we're using 4 times the feed we should have to use for them. So that's going to immediately take care of that and knock that out, make the goats a little healthier, and cut our feed bill down on the chicken feed. And then in addition, so that's the plan for today. But we also supplement our chickens while we're talking about it. Any scrap that comes out of the shop that we can eat, we cut it up, and the easiest way to do it is just with scissors. Any meat scraps, anything that doesn't get eaten, any old feed, any old food in the refrigerator, stuff we cooked a day or two ago that we just cooked fresh food, so we're not eating the older food. We cut that, chop that up, and it either goes to the dog, the shop dog, or it goes to the chickens. And the chickens will eat literally anything you give them. Anything you can eat, your chickens can pretty much eat. And there's some stuff they won't eat, like they don't seem to eat our squash. Like when we have squash on the vine that's gone bad, we throw it out there, the goats will eat a little bit of it, but they don't seem to eat it all. They'll eat the shit out of it when you don't want them to, so we got to fence our beds in and fence our garden and isolate the chickens from that, and the geese and the ducks. But for some reason they don't eat all of that when we give it to them. But any of your scrap feed, any of your table scraps, anything like that, if you're not giving it to a dog, your chickens will eat all of that, and that'll just come back as you know, eggs. You'll get that back. So don't trip on that. You know, oh, I didn't eat that scrap or whatever. Your chickens will give that back to you. So we got the truck and the trailer, and having a trailer, man, makes things so much easier. Just a little, we got a 6 by 12 foot trailer. We can put a full size 1000 Razor in there, and it's big enough to haul your 4-wheelers and all your bikes and shit around. But it just makes things so much faster and so much easier just to be able to load hog panels and farm supply and feed into that thing than to, you know, have to deal with getting in and out of the truck. So plus with the big truck, it's funny, guys get big trucks and stuff, especially like preparedness dudes or, you know, off-road guys. So you got a big ass truck so you can haul more shit. Well, a big truck takes bigger parts to fix and bigger tires, and by the time you put all the shit in there to you know, maintain the truck, you've used most of your truck room. So you end up with a trailer anyways. So we'll show you once we go to unload, we'll show you the materials we got, and then as we put it together, and once it's done, we'll kind of show you what we did. It's going to be very, very simplistic. And then once Lance gets back, we'll build a cover over it so that even in the rain, those feeders stay dry so the food doesn't go to mush. So we can put a couple feeders, days worth of feed in there, and not have to be there every day on the weekend. Like when we go out of town on the weekend or whatever, our animals will still be, you know, have food, water supply and stuff. So we'll show you that in just a little bit. All right, so we've been told the goats are out. We're gonna go try to round these goats up and we'll show you how we do this. Usually they'll come to food, sometimes they won't. So follow us. Where's the feed at, in the trash can?
Yeah.
They'll usually come to chicken feed or most anything else. Come on, Bob. Come on. Wow, we didn't even have to feed them. They just went right back in.
Straight in there.
So we're about to, you can see that's a bunch of feed we had left over out of the fridge from last week's lunches and stuff that we just dumped in there, and they're just eating it up. And we're going to build a little pen to isolate the feeder so that the goats can't be eating all the food, and we'll kind of show you the steps as we go. So this is the hog panel or combo panel. This one's a combo panel, which means it's big here but small down there, so small stuff can't root through. We're going to cut this in half. We're leaving these bars long, so we can literally just shove them between the fence there and bend them around and tie them in. So we just run one out and then the second one out, and then this, they'll just kind of come together and tee into this. This will be the front door, and it's just going to allow us to put all the chicken feeders inside so that the goats can't get to it. They're just tearing shit up, and we're to the point where we can't have plastic trash cans. Everything's got to be metal trash cans. And then we're going to take some fencing, some of these same combo panels, and basically fence off the rabbit hutch so the birds can't get in there. See that goat literally trying to just open that metal trash can there. They're pretty destructive if you let them be. And then our chickens are getting up here and just making a huge mess, more than the rabbits do, and they're just eating all the rabbit shit which we need. So we're going to fence that off. We're going to gather up all these birds one by one, especially once it gets dark, and just clip their wings so they can't fly. We've got the geese and the ducks spend all their time outside, and they're literally just shitting all over the parking lot, and I need that shit inside here, and we need the birds inside here. So we're going to gather those up as well and clip them so they can't just be running around on their own. They're just making a huge mess every morning. They're up on the dock. We've got chickens flying out and literally laying eggs up on the dock there, and we'll be going through, move some boxes to get some boxes for shipping or something. There'll be a nest of 20 eggs sitting there. So we want to have better control over that. So we're going to clip the wings. So we'll show you some of that here in a minute. Right now, we're just going to use these bolt cutters to cut this fencing here. And if you didn't have bolt cutters, I'm sure you could do it other ways, but this is the fastest, most straightforward way to do it. How much were these bolt cutters?
I don't know.
I don't know what these cost, but whatever it was, it's well worth it, and we'll use them on other projects as well. It's about to fall over. Hold this fencing. There's one. Okay, go ahead and let this one fall. Watch out, don't let it catch you. There we go. And even this, we won't throw it away. We'll keep this because we can lace it through some other shit to put two panels together if we need to, or we could bend it like giant twisties or zip ties. So around here, especially preparedness wise, it doesn't take anything to keep that shit. We can put it up in the rafters or whatever, but you might use it one day and it was, you know, it's free. So that was kind of the intention right there.
You're arcing.
Yeah, I hear it. So we'll bend that one up and out of the way so it doesn't touch that. There's that. And this will eventually, we'll actually set a post and make this fence so it opens. So right now we're literally just going to wrap some chain link and put a snap link on it just to kind of keep it in place. We've only got to access it every couple days to fill the feeders back up. So it's rough, but this will basically, it'll keep the goats out and let the chickens eat what they want, and it's going to cut our feed bill like no shit. It's going to cut 75% of our feed bill down. Like the chickens aren't even getting 75% of this feed. So this will take care of a lot of that. So I'm gonna grab some T-posts and drive those. So we need to be able to get all those chickens into this coop, and it's not dark yet. And we're doing that just so we can clip one wing on each side. And we feed them pellet feed because they get enough protein out of that. Plus they forage. But this is scratch corn, so this is more of a treat really. And I just threw just one handful out just to kind of get their attention, and they're going crazy over that. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a bunch of this in here in the hopes that they'll run in there while we're doing this, and then we'll be able to close that door and get some more of them. So I've got these long arms that we cut off just stuck in here, which will more than hold that. It kind of tensions them. And then I'm going to set these T-posts in place right here. T-posts are something, if you're doing any kind of this shit, you guys should have T-posts. And I always buy the size larger than we need, because you can do so much more with them. But with some T-pins, some T-posts, and some zip ties and cord and shit, you could make anything. So I'm gonna drive this one basically right here, and I'm gonna use a T-post setter to do that. And years ago, I'd set T-posts in the garden in California, and I didn't have a T-post setter. I never wanted to spend 40, 50 bucks on it. So I'd use a sledgehammer, and boy, that just having this thing, having the right tool, if you're gonna drive even more than a dozen T-posts, just buy that damn thing. You'll be glad you did. And really, you want to wear gloves anytime you're doing this. You'll get blisters, but I'm only setting 2 of them, so I'll get it started, and then I'll make Cody finish it. Before you get that thing jammed down there, make sure. And this goes for any of this. I mean, we put the whole fence together this way. This whole entire pen is just put together with T-posts and panels like this. So that's where that one will sit. We'll drive that down a little more, and then we'll just zip tie it in place where we need it to be. Where that other pole go? So that's where that's going to go, and then that piece will go right in the middle there. There I go. And just for a quick fix tonight, before we get a pole set, we're literally just going to clip them in just like that. And that should more than keep those goats out of there. Okay, so we didn't have the camera when we were doing it, but Cody got this one netted, and this one's real mellow. That one there that Cody has, that one went nuts. That's kind of the mean one. It was hissing and making weird noises I'd never heard before. He probably won't bite you. Just hear that? See those teeth inside there? You don't want to be bit by that thing. And it'll projectile shit.
That's why I'm holding it out here.
Come on in here, and we're gonna de-goose these geese. We're gonna clip some feathers. Don't let it down. Get a hold, keep a hold on it.
These are heavy.
Yeah, they're big birds. And it's trying to bite at me. And I'm not sure if they're like parrots or not and have a blood feather, but the further up you go, some of those feathers will have blood running through them, so you don't want to I'm gonna go ahead and turn this one. I'm gonna let that one go. I don't want it stressing out. Really, we need 2 people to do this, so.
That's really nice.
Think that is enough? Yeah. You want to do the other side, or?
Yep.
I don't know that it needs it, but.
Doesn't hurt. Well, I mean it might, but.
So they've never had any reason not to like people, but now they kind of have one. So I've never been up this close to this bird since the day we brought him home.
I'm not even really holding him. He's just kind of staying there.
Well, he's probably in shock too. Go ahead and just let go of him and let him go.
Angry goose.
Those are supposed to be kind of the watchdogs of the barnyard, run shit off, and really, like a cat or small dog, they probably would run them right off. But we need them to stay inside here, and to get out they fly over the fence, so now they should stay inside.
The geese are never gonna like us even more again.
And any time you're around goats, anything you don't want chewed up, you need to keep outside of the goat pen.
So that goat's in there right now looking for food.
Yeah, we took the feed out, and you can see here, this whole feeder cage was literally just to put that one damn feeder in there to keep the goats out of the chicken feed. They've got plenty of their own feed, but they keep eating that chicken feed. And then if you come in here, when it was real cold during the winter, and when the goats were real tiny, we had these barrels in here so that they could climb in here and get in there for some weather protection. But what's happening is the chickens keep laying eggs in there, so we're going to take these away from them and put them away until winter, so they have to lay in the nest boxes, so it's just that much easier.
That way they get used to it. It's way easier to pull out of a nest box than that barrel.
Yeah, you get bird shit on you when they're in the barrel, so we're going to pull that shit out of there. if you got eggs that are unquestionable, you can, you know, the chickens will more than eat them, but I don't like to break the chicken eggs open and get them started on that. So if I'm going to use them for feed, I always scramble them first. You don't have to, you could feed them to the dogs or whatever, but I'm not sure how long these things have been in here, so I'm just going to toss them over the fence. Several of these in here are already cracked. But that's why we don't want them laying in there. It's just such a pain in the ass to get to them. So while you're here, come on over here. And we're gonna redo this. Like they roost on here, but you gotta duck under it. So we're gonna make it easier for us. And we're gonna redo some of these poles so you don't have to duck under here all the time every morning to get in here. But I'm going to pull eggs out of here, and then we've been making a real effort to keep the nest boxes clean. The cleaner they are, the cleaner the eggs are. So we keep a couple bales of wood chips out here, and then we can just, while we're cleaning, you can spot clean every now and then, or just dump all this out all together when it starts looking dirty, and then put fresh chips in there. As you can see, that's eggs just from today, just out of these birds that we have here, out of this 10 by 10 dog run with those nest boxes bolted to the wall.